I'm live on both. What up, fam? We are live on YouTube and Facebook and now Instagram. Uh, you got it all through. Hope everybody's having a
I
great
know.
day. We are 7 days into the month of December, and
Listen,
it's gonna be super dope. Do you see me on live on
super dope.
Instagram?
No, I don't. Okay, here we go. Yep, I just saw it.
All right, guys, like to share this
Into
feed.
the month of December.
You see me on live? All
I do. Let me send a
right, there we go.
request and do all
All right,
this
guys, like and share this feed. We are
stuff.
now live. What up? It is Boss Talk Wednesday. I'm saying
Boss
Tuesday.
Talk Wednesday.
And we're going live right now talking about adopting a winning mindset in business. And Natalie's live. Oh, we're matching with my purple and your sweater. I just realized that.
Hey, let's go. I was about to
I
change
got
because
rich.
it's hot here. Let me put this right.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly here.
Really?
But yeah, it's not that hot. Well, it's not like crazy. It's not crazy cold, but it's not hot though. But I'm about to go to Phoenix tomorrow for this event, so I'm excited to be in some warm weather and some palm trees and to
Mm-hmm.
keep it out going. So I think the service is not good, right? I logged on yesterday.
No.
It's cool. All right, we're just gonna go live here on Instagram, I mean, on Facebook and YouTube, and we're
Hop
talking
on
about
Facebook.
having a winning mindset. All right, um, and today is just a great day because we're talking about having a winning mindset in entrepreneurship. And what happens is a lot of times we're so busy
Mm-hmm.
um, trying to stay afloat that we're not taking time to really just say, hey, you know what? Even though things are troubling right now, even though things are like this, I'm going to adopt a winning mindset. I'm going to adopt a mindset that's going to help me go to the next level. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's hard when, you got to worry about a lot of stuff. You got to worry
Mm-hmm.
about how you're going to stay afloat with your business, how you're going to get this done. But as a winning mindset person, you just automatically think from victory. I already
Yeah.
have the victory, so let me act
Yeah.
like I have it and let me follow through with everything like that.
That's good. That's good. That's so funny that you said the word act. And today I had a discussion with a friend of mine, and she was saying, actors are not the same. They when they play certain roles, they're some most of the times the complete opposite of the role that they play. So then she brought up, like Robert De Niro is one of the few actors. Like she said, though that role that he plays, that tough guy, that Italian, that's really who he is in person. And it got me thinking, when you said to sometimes you have to act like that before you actually
Mhm.
see that it's you are becoming that person. So you can't wait to be in a situation where you are winning to be a winner. You have to
Mhm.
decide to be a winner ahead of the situation. You got to decide
Yeah.
that this is what's going to happen, even if I see that I am my circumstances doesn't dictate that I am a winner. I know that I'm the person that's changing the circumstances, not I'm not playing down to where I am. You know what I mean? So that mindset piece is so important because my favorite book says, as a man thinks, is so is he. So it's just like, as you're thinking, even though you find yourself in the middle of a situation that doesn't look like what you see, it's not what you see that dictates who you are. It's not what you hear that dictates what you are. It's as a man thinks, so is he. So you have the power in your mind. Your mindset is that powerful that it can now create your reality. Now, there's some steps that you need to take in between that, but it's
Mhm.
birth in your mind. So, really and truly, think about it as you are venturing into this space. What will you believe about yourself? That's the
Yeah,
question.
that's
What
so
will you
true.
believe?
And I think the pivotal part about that is after a while when you start really faith is really convincing yourself that it's going to come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
And so oftentimes, we're so focused on stuff that has nothing to do with winning. Like,
For
if I
real.
know I'm designed to be a winner, why am I ever thinking about lack? You know, um, I had this one event years ago that, nobody should up to. But it was also my mindset. I really wasn't confident either. So going forward, when I did my other future events, I knew I had to speak a certain level of confidence that, hey,
Mm-hmm.
my events sell out. People come to my events because they can have a good time. Um, when I realized I base everything around ministry now, as it relates
Mm-hmm.
to like I have purpose in me doing this. And once
Yes.
purpose is attached to your mission, winning becomes an easy feat because you already know that, hey,
Mm.
that's purpose. So as I carry out this day in this activity, I know for a fact that I already, because purpose is attached to what I'm doing, I already know it's going to be successful. Um, and I think sometimes too, we get so excited to look for big numbers and big
Yes.
turnouts. If you were
Yes.
just meant to take that one person that came,
Yes.
big numbers are cool, but I think being more intentional about business really helps you develop a winning mindset because if your attention is just money, it's going to be very, very hard for you to grow. If your
Mm.
attention is um, just, I'm just doing this to get by, like once you have purpose tied to your intention,
Come
life becomes
on.
much easier with you becoming a winner.
So y'all, you know how I do, Chef Jay. I'm like, you using all these big words. I need to look up the definition of what you're saying because I need some more clarity. So your intention is a thing that is intended, an aim or a plan or a purpose. And this is why you are the purpose coach. Come on, in the building is you have to really like what think about what winners do. When we think about winners, I think about athletes all the time. I think about, we got the World Cup with the soccer. We got
Oh
the
yeah,
Olympics. We got, football and basketball and all of that. Think about those people that are always on the winning team. That's always on the winning side. That's always winning and always ahead. When I think about soccer, I think about Brazilians. Now, I'm not sure if they still, up there, but when I was growing up, Brazil was like the thing. Pele was like historical, and so they had a legacy that they needed to carry on. But what do winners do? And when you think about what winners do, you really have to think about how they train. A winner trains 4 hours a day. Steve Phelps,
yeah,
one of the most famous swimmers in the whole wide world, talked about his training routine and how rigorous it is and how hours a day is dedicated just to training in that craft and how hard and how difficult and the sacrifices that you have to make in order to become a winner. So winning and having the mindset of a winner doesn't just mean, hey, I get victory at the end of this thing. I win the race. But the process, having adopting a winner's mindset also means adopting the mindset for the process. There's
yeah.
going to be a process that you need to take in order to get to the finish line. And you're not willing to abandon that process midway through because that's not what winners do. Winners persevere, winners endure. And adopting that winner mindset means I'm adopting that process that winners go through to get to the end result.
And I think the good part about that is really like you said, adopting that mindset. But even to go further, I just think you just said something else that was really pivotal. I think a lot of times too, the reason why winning is so far off because our craft isn't perfected,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know how dope your craft is. For me,
Yeah.
sometimes I was intimidated, but then once I got started, it worked out well. It's a show called Cutthroat Kitchen. We was watching it in
Mm-hmm.
class, and what I noticed is like two male chefs, two female chefs, right? Two women chefs rather.
Mm-hmm.
So the guys try to take each other out because they feel like the other guy is the greatest opponent, not realizing that the women are greater than what their skill set is greater than
Oh,
them.
wow.
Times two is we underestimate our own ability,
Come
and when we
on.
underestimate our ability, we start to develop a losing mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be okay if I just make it to this level. I'll be okay if I could just pay my bills, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're made to do so much more. It's so much more than you just doing the bare minimum to make it by. Like
Yeah.
you're so in your own right. And the more you keep underestimating yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're your greatest opponent,
Yeah.
underestimating yourself,
Seriously.
you're gonna phase where times you could have won, you lost because you underestimated your skill set. You underestimated the gift you are. And the more you underestimate, the more you'll realize that, hey, I'm an underachiever because I don't see myself as a winner. Um, Once I really got into the phase of I'm a winner, I can do it. I can do all things through Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I had to meditate in the love of God for myself to realize who I was as a winner. And
Yes.
sometimes you got to find the root to the issue. Some issues may be that, hey, you know what? I've never felt good enough from my family. I've never felt good enough from my spouse. I've never felt good enough that nobody ever wanted me. It's whatever it is. You have to get to the bottom of the lack of confidence. And once you get to the bottom of that, you can really be sure about how to really take hold of what belongs to you.
Mm-hmm.
The more you start to fraternize with, I don't say being a loser, the more you start to fraternize with being an underachiever, you're going to keep staying at that level. The more you start perpetrating, hey, I'm a winner, I'm successful, you start to live in that mindset where there are some people who I'm around, like, I cook for a whole bunch of people, and there a lot of people are big on social media, and the way they carry themselves is how they really see themselves, even if you don't agree with it. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter what other people say about you, it's just matter what you think about yourself.
Yeah.
And if God said that you're more than a conqueror, that you're this and you're that, I can only receive what's already been professed over my life. And the good things, you have a right to choose what you want to accept. And if winning is your mindset, you have no choice but to be a winner, because after a while they start to convince everybody around them, oh, that's a
Come
winner right
on.
there. That's a winner right there. That's this right there, because they've convinced everybody because of their conviction. What does your conviction look like, as it relates to who you are in the earth? What does your
Mm.
conviction look like as to who you are in the earth? If somebody would come into your face and just talk to you, who do they say about you online? Who do they say about you in person? What have you put, like, for me, excuse me, this is cool. I am like over these colds. Um, so let's say, for example, is when I first came to the school I'm at now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I didn't know the principal had told the kids to Google me, right?
Wow.
So he said, no, you need to Google this guy. So I got there. They knew stuff about me. And I'm like, how you knew that? They said, well, the principal said, Google you. He wrote your, and I saw my name on the board. He said, my name was on the board already. And then it was so ironic that this was the case that they researched me. So what happens is, you have to be your greatest publicist. If nobody gonna put you on, put yourself on, right? And a lot of stuff they have online. Now this stuff is people put on, but stuff that I put on myself through my YouTube page and these events. You have your greatest asset will be your content, because your content will
Mm-hmm.
speak for yourself. So when people come into the room, they know I'm Chef J this, I'm
Yeah.
Chef J that, I'm Chef, because I have a preconceived notion of who I am because of what I put out about me. So what are you putting out about yourself that allows people to develop the judgment of who you are? And that could be a good or bad thing.
Mm. Well, shoot. Let the church say amen. That's so good. Listen, you do. Like, I mean, to everything that you said, like, you have to be the one, like you said, talk about faith, and it's convincing everybody or convincing yourself that you have what it takes. And really, you're not grasping at straws. You're actually convincing yourself of something that is already true. And this is where clarity, and if you need clarity, you got to come to this girl right here. It's so important, especially, as a business owner, because you will do things or you will see things and you'll try to copy somebody else, but you're unclear and unsure of who you are. But once you have that clarity on who you are, on the fact that your business is a solution to a problem that currently exists or may exist in the future, then you show up differently. I used to
Yeah.
show up and be like, this is what I can do. I'm the mom CEO coach. I didn't feel confident in this because I'm like, well, I'm not really mastering motherhood. My kids be, making breakfast for themselves. And, I'm not really sure if the CEO. But once I understood that what I bring to the table in the manner of how I provide clarity for my clients, like I can see who they are. a lot of times, or can see the pieces that they put together. Like they'll just dump everything out, and then I'll be like, oh, this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here, and this is what you said. It's just like, oh my gosh, I know that I'm the solution. So I no longer have to convince anybody. I just have to show up. I am the
Yeah.
solution to ambiguity and chaos in the marketplace. All I have to do is show up. That's the kind of confidence that you need in order to be the winner, in order to have that winning mindset. You have to be clear on your purpose. Holla at the purpose coach who's sitting right next to me. You have to have clarity on why you're doing what you're doing, and you have to move forward. And that's going to give you the fuel. Let me say that right, to move forward confidently, because people have problems. There is never going to be a shortage of problems in the world.
That part.
Never, ever, ever, ever. You can walk in any room and ask somebody what's wrong here, and they will have 10,000 things. Chef Jay could walk into his school and ask them what's wrong here, and he will have a list of things. I can ask my kids when they come home today, what's wrong here, and they will point out everything. There's always problems, but the people who get invited back to the table, and I tell my clients this all the time, are those that come with solutions to the problem. Nobody wants to hear the
Yeah.
problem repeated and regurgitated 1,500 times. What do you have that's going to end my problem, that's going to bring a solution? And we have to be confident in knowing that we are the one. A winning mindset.
And that's so dope because what happens is the way you value yourself, others will value you the same. How you choose to carry yourself is how people will choose to carry who you are to them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's
Like
why
that.
people keep bringing you garbage. You keep acting like a garbage can, allowing them to dump on you. When people treat you with respect, is because you've developed a certain level of pull in the community because of what you do. When it comes to like just dealing with teenagers, like that's my area strong point with I'm always a cool teacher. I'm always a teacher. I'm gonna work with them.
Mm-hmm.
They know I'm tough. You know what though? They know that I care and I know I'll have influence. Who are you
Yeah.
influencing? People always say that it's a money issue. I think it's an influence issue. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like people have like Kanye West has so much influence right now with people where once he says something, people kind of go crazy when it's just like
Yes.
he don't got nothing to do. He don't got nothing to do with your personal life.
Praying
And
for
they
you,
getting worked
Kanye.
about, yeah, saying stuff that has nothing to like you're taking what he's saying and making it so personal to your life and commenting,
Really, really.
looking at your personal life. You're not doing anything productive because you're busy on social media, comment on everything somebody else is doing. You know, um, like it's just so much impact. And I think here's the other part about winning mindset. You can't think about who's not supporting you. For example, is I posted a post of my mentor, Dr. Jill Tanker, and someone the other day, some person with like 100 followers commented, "Wow, this is how people of God are dressing." Mind you, we were not in a church setting. Um, and first off, she not trying to be no born first lady, So what happened was someone commented on that part, and you ain't gonna talk about my mentors like that or my people. Like that's one thing you're not gonna do. I'm not gonna slide. And I said, sir, it's so sad that you're looking at how she's dressed, but you're not realizing she's impacting tens of thousands of people while you have your little following of maybe like 100 people and you're not making no impact. I think so oftentimes, when you're working on your mini mindset, you're gonna have people who always have something to
Yeah.
say all the
Yep.
time, something to say. But the thing about it is your outlook, which you run in your mouth, has nothing to do with
Mm-hmm.
me. So I could choose to allow you to alter my mindset because, oh, I want to make sure that I'm pleasing this person. I want to make sure I'm pleasing that person. When all actuality, it doesn't matter what you think.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I am. If what
Mm-hmm.
you're saying has some weight, like, what, maybe I need to think about this. Maybe I need to edit myself. But
Yeah.
it goes back to how much weight am I giving other people in my life? Because some people you give weight to, they are not meant to sow into your life with their mouth or with their words. And so when you're developing that winning mindset, you have to always go back to how much power do you give other people in your life? Are these people in your life that you give power to, are they sent from God or are they sent to be a distraction?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a very, very thin line sometimes when some people may come into life for a season and they're not meant to really sow too much into this part, but because you allow them, because you feel like they said something good at this time, they can speak all into your life. Every friend is not meant to speak into every area of your life. And when it comes to that winning mindset, you have to really take time to really think for yourself, because as you think for yourself, people will come to confirm what you already know.
Yeah.
So it's like when you get a word high in church, it's confirmation for what God already told you in most cases. So when it comes to just having a winning mindset, you have to really be so hooked on, like what we said last week, you have to be so hooked on thinking about what you're thinking about. What are
Yeah.
you allowing in your mindset? What are you allowing yourself? What are you watching? What are you seeing? That's determining the value of yourself. And if you look at it and you don't like how it's coming out, maybe it's time to really check yourself, because you want to make sure that you're so focused on building a life that starts with your words, building a lifestyle that starts
Mm.
with your lifestyle starts with inside your mind and
Yeah.
in your mouth and in your eyes. Like, you can't ever should not show me what it's like to live in a mansion, because I've cooked for some people that live in mansions. You can't ever not show me what it is to fly on a private plane, because I've flown in one before. Like
Come
when you
on.
give an accent, and it's no, and it's true. I did that for my birthday, maybe at the age of like 26. So you can't ever not show me
Come
this stuff
on. I can't
that
unsee
I've
it.
seen before. I can't unsee it.
I
So
can't.
when it's just like, and let's say if I'm not there right now to do the private jet life, I'm already thinking, how can I find first class? Like, I'm always gonna find, if I'm not there yet, I'm gonna get as close as I can to it, because I'm gonna break that glass ceiling by keep going up. You know what? I jumped up, I made it here. I jumped up, I made it here. I jumped up, I made it here. So eventually you're breaking and shattering that glass ceiling. Like, you have to challenge yourself to really go beyond yourself. You have to challenge yourself to go beyond what you've
Mm.
seen as a kid. Like, your family's norm doesn't have to be your norm. Like, the chaos of your family doesn't have to be your norm. The unsuccess of your parents does not have to be your norm. Your norm is what you make it to be normal. Like, for me, like, I can't help but to not want to be in a relationship if it doesn't compare to relationships I've seen that are successful.
Yeah.
What I mean by it's not comparing, but once you've seen excellence in that area, it makes you say, you know what, this is not for me, because I know I can receive better because I've seen better.
Yeah.
And once you start seeing that, you move differently. Like, once you get into like something that's luxury, you don't ever want to move back. Like when I was younger, I say that cheaper hotels, but now that I'm older, I'm like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
older. I like comfortable beds, so I gotta say it's some
Listen.
place going to be comfortable, because I can't unsee what I've seen already, and that's the whole point about, just when you have that winning mindset, you start stretching your thoughts, stretching your mind, to that you start seeing beyond your limitations.
That part right there. Oh my goodness. I'm like, if we could sit there, because I'm gonna sit there for about 2 more minutes. You cannot unsee what you've seen. And that part is so powerful. And we limit that only to our physical eyesight. But this is what mindset is. You're seeing this in your mind's eye. I can't unsee the fact that I got a vision of being in a boardroom in a high tower with windows. So now everything in me is driving me to the vision that I saw when my eyes was closed. And the one thing and the beautiful thing about your mind, the most powerful, if not the one of the most powerful things about your mind, is it cannot differentiate between your imagination and your real life. If you saw it in your imagination, it is like, I want to get there. That's why a lot of the times we have to cast down vain imaginations, those thoughts that are not causing us to move forward in excellence within that winner's mindset. And we have to tear those things down constantly, because it starts with a thought. And as Chef Jay says, it moves to your mouth, and you open up your mouth and you create your reality. You have to really tear those things down, so that now you have capacity and space to dream and visualize that which you want to see come to pass. Like, your mind is so powerful. If you really focus and imagine being in the winner circle, doing what winners do, moving forward in the opposition, you will get it. And when it comes to opposition, a lot of the times we think that the opposition is coming to tell us you don't belong here, when the opposition
Mhm.
is actually reminding us that this is exactly where you need to be. I am
Mhm.
strengthening you. I am building up your endurance, because what we fail to realize is the next level is just as difficult as the level we are right now. When you get $1 million, it's the same management you're going to have to do with your $1 million as you did with your $1,000. If you don't manage
Yeah.
your $1,000 correctly, you will do the same thing. You will discard it. If you get $1 million, why am I keep saying if? When you get $1 million, you will treat it the same way. So the principle of being faithful over a few so that you can be ruler over many applies in the areas of your money. It applies in the area of your employees. It applies in the area of your home, in your job, on social media. That principle still applies. You got 100 followers. How do you deal with them? How do you treat them? How do you speak to them? Because when you get 30K, you're going to talk to them the same way unless you make a shift.
It's a funny setup because I have a few videos that went viral. That one that had a lot of views. Some people,
Hmm.
most of it was good comments. A few that had negative comments, and me, I'm a
Yes,
clapbacker. Like
you a clapbacker.
I'm, I'm a professional, and I'll do it with that hurt your feelings. But I had to realize too, it's just like you about to argue with somebody that got like 5 followers. Like all they do is dispute negativity, and it's just like what I realize is I want my light to shine so much that it dims out all negativity. And when you make it your purpose to just be a light shiner, you start
Hmm.
to realize that those who have negativity just get blinded by the lights that you have. But it
Wow.
takes you consistently just showing your light, keep
Hmm.
showing up, in the best you, keep doing this, keep doing. Like sometimes winning is about doing the same thing over and over again. It's not about trying to make a new strategy when the same strategy worked that got you the
Yeah.
first 100K or the first $1,000. It's just that are you implementing it enough? It really gets to the next level. Like there's certain things I fell back on the past couple of months, and it's like Jay, you stopped doing the same thing you doing. So I do
Yeah.
know that me full time job has played a role in that, but that means what do you do now? And I have to be more intense with my message of going forward. So that means I have to go to bed earlier. I have to maybe wake up earlier just to plan myself time better.
Yeah.
And it's not about always finding the next best strategy. It's about really going back to the basics because the ABCs will always be the ABCs. Like we try to go to Z when we didn't even hit ABC. Like there's an order. Even you taught math, right? You taught English.
Math.
So, for example, it's talking about the orders of operation. Sometimes we try to skip the
Yes. Come
when it's
on.
like, no, you're supposed to do the subtraction part when you're supposed to do the exponents, then the
Hmm.
multiplication. But we're trying to skip all over the place. That no, you have to do
Yes.
what's first. Accomplishing what's first will allow you to get to the second. When you're done with the second, you get to the third. Now, there's sometimes where we want to, oh, I just want to jump and do that, but sometimes you can't. And it just because you can't do it right now doesn't make you a winner. Not only it just makes you to be more strategic about how you move.
Yes.
And think about winner, it's like an athlete. They always finding different strategies to get the same results. And sometimes the same strategy is how you get the same results. You might have to just add more intensity into the first interaction to keep getting the
Hmm.
same results. But you're designed to win, and it's up to you to win. Like even today,
It
like I
is.
really didn't. I had someone on walking on live. Then like I'm like trying to get rid of this cold because I got to fly out tomorrow. I'm like knocking all this medicine out, but because I know that I have to show up
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah. Winner.
Yeah, and I don't know who's gonna watch this podcast and needs what we have to say. So it would be a disservice to people if I allow my light
Wow.
to shine because I need a break. Nah, fam, like it's too many people who need the light that I have to even think about wanting to take a pause. Because sometimes that pause will cause the momentum to slow down.
Hmm. Wow. Just two things I have with the order of operations. I like that you brought it up because it's a principle that when you apply it every single time you get it right. Now, if you decide I want to just do it my own way, sometimes you'll get it right. But if you follow the order, you will always get it right. Always. So some of us are looking to be, let's switch it up and change it up, and sometimes you get it right, yay, and you think, oh, I could just do it which way I want to. No, following the order always gets it right. And the other thing is how you consistently show up even when you're not feeling 100%. And the beautiful part is, Chef Jay, you
I'm glad
say, look
you're
look at that,
man.
for a
I'm a nurse
podcast, and
myself.
people will be like, it ain't that serious. When I was like, Thanksgiving, I'm out. He like, no, I am coming and I'm showing up. But what you don't get to see with him showing up is all the stuff that he's building within himself, and he's becoming a credible source in the marketplace, that there's going to come a time that y'all going to be like, wait, where did he come from? Go back and check the
Yeah.
replay. Go back and check the podcast. He didn't just come out of nowhere. He's been doing this for a while. Just because you only saw Brad Pitt show up on the scene in 1999 or 1998 or 2010 doesn't mean he came out of nowhere. He's been doing this for years. Just because you only recognize Kevin Hart in the Fatherhood, you forgot that he was in Soul Plane, and that movie crashed just like the plane. It was horrible. It was terrible. But he kept consistently moving forward, honing his craft so that he can become what he is today. That when you mention his name in any room, everybody knows who he is. You've got to show up. And part of showing up is realizing, yo, it's bigger than me. That's what Chef Jay just said to y'all. This is bigger than me. Like my girl be saying, it's out of my hands now. I'm just doing what I'm called to do because I know this thing is bigger than me. What's your purpose? And if you know your purpose, where is the clarity on what you need to do next? Because if you are stuck at this point, we've been on this, 30 something weeks, 35, 36 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. We've been on here since April. It's December. At this point, it's a choice to stay stuck. You can get out of that place anytime you want to, and we're here to help you. That's all I got.
Hey, so make sure you click the link in the bio, guys, for coaching. Also, too, finalizing the date for the vision board brunch that we're gonna have in January. We're just here to help you win. If you're tired of
No matter
being
what.
the losers, it's up to you. But we're gonna log out. I'm serious. If you're gonna be a loser, it's up to you. And sometimes that sounds harsh, but it's the reality. If you want to be a loser, these are people that you being around that ain't growing, doing the same thing y'all did since y'all was in high school and college, doing loser
Oh
things. Like,
man.
want to pivot. If you don't, we get it. I understand, fam. So have a wonderful week on purpose, guys, because I'm about to go to this live and take some more medicine. I'm about to be out.
Yes. Love y'all. Bye.